Really, Seymour, where are you? You gotta be so loud. I know Agnes keeps wandering off, but can you just give me 5 minutes of silence? She'll come back. Just do it later. Hey, hello guys. Thank you so much for coming back. Do you remember about a year ago this time that I worked on a similar tractor? It's actually right back there. I don't know if you can see it right now. 1948 Silver King from Fate-Root-Heath. Fate-Root-Heath. Made its way over to Kansas, the other one. Well, this one too, obviously. But it was a tornado tractor. It had just been restored in '06, and in '07, a GMC pickup sort of did a swan dive right across the hood and beat up a whole lot of stuff. And so I made the video, the previous video, and got it running. I cleaned out a lot of tornado debris, drove it up on a trailer, brought it here, dumped it off, and it has sat there ever since. In the past year, myself and the owner, we've kind of kept our eyes open for possible parts or a parts donor. And lo and behold, about a month ago, the owner got with me and said he found one in, I want to say South Dakota, I can't remember. Went ahead and bid on it, and here it is. The guys that were selling it actually made the comment to the man that picked it up, you're going to use this as a parts tractor? And yeah, we are. I mean, it really, when you think about it, it really makes no difference. I mean, one running tractor for another, right? Actually, as you saw, it does run and drive quite well, though it's burning oil like crazy. We're going to take a quick look around, walk around this thing. But the fact of the matter is, the other one that we started with, that is the family heirloom. That was Grandpa's tractor that he farmed with. That is the one that is going to receive the parts off of this one. You know, that's just how it goes. So let's bring you in closer and take a look. So we are winding down on the El Camino project over there. I have a couple things I need to finish up before the owner gets back. And certainly I'll take you all for a ride, or yeah, I'll take you for a ride, but I'll take you all along. But anyway, we needed to get to thinking, get to cracking on the next project, and that would be this. Obviously, you have seen that in the background if you've been watching the vids. We need to get something going there. Now, is this exactly a 48? That I don't know. None of the tags are really legible anymore, but it has much better parts on it than the other one does. Much better fenders. You know, they're pretty wavy. You can tell old Bertha and Agnes or whoever was, or the farmhand, you know, Willie, the farmhand, has been sitting on here while the boss was driving. They're a little bent, little beat up, but so much better than the ones we had. The hood, yeah, she's got some creases in it. It's got this hole. I'm not even sure what that canister, if that's a hydraulic reservoir, if somebody was running something. I can tell something has been hooked up there and there. Here we have a hydraulic line, so I bet you someone was probably running something off the PTO and they needed a little oil reservoir. That is not on the other one, so that'll get patched up. But we have all our caps, which we had none of this, and this on the other one. So that's good. The radiator on the other one, the neck is shot. Could possibly be reshaped and soldered. But if this radiator is good, we'll be using that. What else? The seat arm, although it could use a little bit of straightening, it's straight. You know, your seat's not going to left field over there. So that's good. Oh, the flat belt drive. Someone had put a sprocket on the other one, and the owner wanted this back on there. I have found this whole assembly on eBay for $350. So right there, it was well worth the I don't even, honestly, I really don't even know what he paid for this. Someone threw a brand new battery in there. There you can see, I don't know if someone had kind of an archaic loader on here or what was going on. It's not over on that side, so. Anyway, possibly better, different, I don't know. We may restore the steering wheel. We will see how that goes. One headlight, we'll have to find another one. Grill is hanging in there. We may replace it, we may not. That one was actually made from scratch during the last restoration. But of course it got beat up as well. So I'll just have to determine what I think is the least amount of work, you know. And actually, the original grill for this one is out in the junk pile to the south of this shop. Funny how things go. There's the sprocket. There you can see all our bent pipes, the broken neck. Oh, the water, the thermostat housing is cracked. Maybe this one has a good housing on it. There's our seat arm, a little wrinkled. When you take a GMC right in the seat, something's gonna bust, you know. I've been there. And I don't know if it was a young lady or a young man that drove this and he, you know, fighter pilot style, put the Gene nose art on the tractor. But we got a Gene. Could be a guy Gene, and he just monogrammed it. You know, that was all the rave. It was the thing to do. What are we going to start with? I guess the hood again. The heavy beast. It's got the fuel tank mounted under the hood. And it gets a little heavy. Although I do want to... I do want to drive it back out of here and put it in storage. We can rig something up. Or I can leave it loose. Let's leave it loose. What do you say, Gene? All right. Seymour, bruh, come on, man. Okay, it just got weird. I hope the fan isn't bothering you guys. I hope the crickets aren't bothering you guys. I know some of you like to... Oh, holy cow. Some of you like to hear the crickets. Well, okay. Atta boy, wow, just gonna bust myself in the chops with a ratchet. Anyway, I like to hear crickets too, you know? When I go outside in the evening, that's fine. Inside, no. We become antagonists. I asked my box to... yeah. I asked my boss, I asked my wife to bring a box of bug foggers I'm going to put in here because they drive me nuts. Absolutely nuts. Tell you what I'm going to do. What am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh! That's gonna have to be patched. You guys ever hit yourself in the face with a ratchet or something while you were working? You're putting all your strength into pulling on a bolt or a nut with it, you know, and it lets loose. I once did that. It was, it was probably in the low 20s. I was working outside under a lean-to. I was on the south side of a building, so I had a windbreak, but the wind was probably clocking about 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour. You know, there was a strong winter weather out, and there I was, like a really smart person, installing a fertilizer system on a planter. Is it necessary in the middle of winter during a second broken bolt during a blizzard to install fertilizer that won't be used for another 3 months, you know? No. Where'd my ratchet go? I mean, it's just gone. What in the world? Is it under the tire? On the axle under the fender. Okay. Anyway, in those conditions, I think that was the old style Milwaukee batteries. That one hit the floor. You know, the 1/2 inch impact didn't necessarily want to put a good pull, put a good hit on the bolts, you know. And they were probably, on that one, 5/8 bolts, maybe even 3/4. So I needed to make sure it was gonna, the 200-gallon tank or whatever that was gonna be loaded with liquid fertilizer was gonna stay on the planter, you know. So there I was, just pulling as hard as I could, and the socket let loose, and the bar smacked me flat in the teeth. I don't know how I still have front teeth, but it was one of those injuries where you shake, you know, your body starts going into shock because it hurts so bad. So you're just wobbly, you're a little wobbly on your pins, like they used to say. Oh, I don't like doing it. Oh. Not much else I can do in this situation. All right, I have the hood left, possibly the grill, and the seat. I may even leave the grill on for now. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not. There's a lot of beat up edges and corners of the expanded metal there. What I'm going to do in order to move this back out and into the garage out back, I'm going to leave the hood on. It is loose. I'm just going to take the wrench I need with me for the fuel line, and then I'll pop it off out there and bring it in. I'm also going to break the bolts loose on the seat. I will take a wrench with me or an impact after I break them loose, move them over there. The clutch on this thing is just about non-existent, and trying to imagine getting it going or stopping it without sitting down, I think I'm just asking for trouble. So, let's see if we can finish this part of it up here. Is smaller? Well, I thought it just fit a second ago. Oh yeah. Okay. Sure thing. Not a problem. Give you a closer look here. This is just almost exactly like the top shock absorber and control arm on a Chevy from the same era. Just dual action shock absorber. A little bit different, but very similar otherwise. No idea if there's any fluid. We'll have to go through that, see if we can get it working again. I've got a little bolt and a nut down here I need to take off, and then I think we're gonna move it. Give her a little choke again. I thought that might sling oil, but I didn't know it would be that bad. You know, just something to stop it from making a huge mess. 20-year-old sponge ought to work. Remember that little mid-90s beauty? Yeah, she's fixing to go to a new home here very soon. Okay. Cap A, Cap B, Cap C. Hold hands. Doing this alone. Not smart. Not smart at all. Not yet. Here we go. Okay. Whew. Forgot about pulling the steering wheel, but I'm going to wait on that anyway. I gotta really need to determine if the other one is worth keeping or not. It was kind of rebuilt and customized, and they put kind of an engraved center cap on there. I think it has the grandpa's name and the 1948 in it or something, I don't know. We are leaving the gasoline trail. I'm going to finish cleaning up parts out there, and then we will start in on this one. Well, good morning. So, as you can see, I've got our project tractor backed in here. We've got two 48s in a row. Isn't that fun? I think my goal for today and for the rest of this video is I'm going to start stripping down the rest of what I need to on the good tractor, quote unquote. Take the wheels off. Those need to be repainted. The frame all needs to be scuffed up and repainted. Obviously, we have a damaged seat. I thought perhaps this was one piece, the instrument panel was one piece of sheet metal we wouldn't even have to touch, but it's all chipped up, scratched up, everything. So that'll have to be redone, taken off and redone. Certainly the grill needs to come off, which means the steering linkage needs to be undone. The radiator needs to come out. All kinds of stuff. So, let's just get stuck in. So we're back here on our little play park bouncy thing. Remember those? And then as a teenager you would sit on them, you know, the little plastic horse or whatever, and you would make it bend all the way to the ground backwards and shoot forward. Oh man, good times. Now unfortunately this thing does not seem to be under too much tension. It'll be interesting to see what the spring does, but we may have to heat it up and bend it back into place on the bottom. It'd be nice if it just sprung back into place though. We're fixing to find out. Somewhat. It's loose down there. It is curved. But I think if we just curve it towards the front or the back, that may be more natural anyway, how it was. But yeah, once we get a straight arm on there, I don't think that's going to be a problem anyway. Tighten the bottom down. Hopefully polishing that out, sanding it down a little, polishing out won't erase any of the engravings. I do know someone who does that kind of work. She does beautiful work on firearms mostly, but we'll see what happens. Now take my advice, even if your project you're doing is as simplified as this one electronically, label. Just label. Just do it, guy. Even if you think you got it, you know. An extra 5 seconds per wire to label it versus who knows how long trying to dig information out of the catacombs. You know, you by some miraculous event you forget what you actually were supposed to do 3 years down the road. You know how it goes. Just label. You're not any less of a man for doing it. Just label it. You'll thank me. I'm not even going to rerun the wiring the same way it was run on this thing. And I've labeled everything. I'm going to use different wire, different lengths, everything different. But I still labeled it because I know the day that I want to rewire this, that'll be invaluable. I just know exactly where I need to go with what. Just label it. Yeah. I saw you smirking in the back row. Don't think I didn't see you. These gauges are a Murphy gauge, switch gauge, they're called. They've been replaced, you know, they're not original equipment. I'm going to see if I can find some more just like it. They look very, very similar to what's on the other tractor, the black face and the white lettering. Looks like a nice quality old school style of gauge, like it belongs on here. Well, I've got to find the right combination to get this out of there. I don't think it'd be that much trouble. I can actually see our steering column or shaft mast, what they call it on a Chevy, the steering mast, is actually curved. I'm not sure if that's... I really doubt that's supposed to be there, you know. Trying to slide it off, it's being stubborn, so I've got to work with it. Summer, that good old Indian summer. It's getting a little warm in here today. It's been pretty nice, not too bad. I could handle a little cooler. Low 50s, mid 80s is what it's been. I could go, you know, another 10 to 20 lower, but not everyone gets what they want all the time, right? Anyway, I went out to the storage garage out there where I shoved that other tractor. I got the worm gear to come out, but I cannot get the steering wheel to come off. I need that cage puller again that I borrowed. What project did I borrow it on recently? You remember. needing it in just a few weeks twice probably means a guy should just buy it himself, right? They are so darn expensive. But anyway, sorry for the language. I either need to get the gear and this flange off this end or the steering wheel off this end in order to slide things through the panel, right? And that's not happening out there either way. So I'm going to try to get this out here and see if we can finish getting the instrument panel out. Honestly, once we get this apart, if the shaft is straight, and the shaft could even be straightened if it's bent, but you know, if it's just the outer pipe, that could probably be easily replaced. So, just thin piece of pipe, I think. Right size for a bearing on the top end, but anyway. Silver King model. Huh. Well, we're not improving its looks any here, but I think I'm making progress. So on the bottom end, once again, I was trying to do the same thing I did out there and just turn the worm gear out. It's not coming. Now I don't have a steering wheel to use as leverage. And I got the flange. I don't think you can see that. I got the flange down there separate. Okay, wrapped up in cords. But it is completely full of paper shims, paper gasket shims, presumably for preload on the bearings. And so I don't want to tear those up. So I just stopped there, you know, same problem. I was just trying to get the steering gear loose and go that way with it. The I don't know what you call it, the long shaft on the pitman arm there, the threaded nut for the spring-loaded tension on the ball, that wasn't coming out. I do have a socket at home I can put on a wrench, on a ratchet, and turn that out, but with a screwdriver, even with a crescent wrench on a screwdriver, it's not backing out. So I got a problem there, couldn't do that. So I got to turn my attention back to the top end and try to get this mast out of here, this bent mast. So I sliced along here to see what they had for a bearing or a bushing, and it ends up, it's a plastic nylon bushing, about 3/4 of an inch deep. And I'm trying to tap it out. It's just, nothing's, on both tractors, the steering does not want to cooperate. You're not going to beat me, you know. I don't know who you thought you were dealing with here. Now, that's not going to go through the hole in the instrument panel. So we do this. I'm not putting up with you any longer, dude. Goodness. Let's try a big old pry bar. That wrench fit in the other one, it just wasn't going to come out. Why are they so tight? Oh, guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't want to run home and get that thing. I guess I could heat it up. I mean, I've restored cars that, these were old and rusty. They've been on there for generations, you know, and they came out easier than that. Probably put the 3/4 impact to it or something. Oh, no. So I just got it. I just broke it free, and I was just starting to go back and forth with it, you know, like it was loosening up. Then all at once the whole pin came out of the, out of the deal. It just came, not only did they not put cotter pins in any of the holes to hold the nut in place, they didn't bother to put the clip on the bottom of the pin. Okay, that's cool. It's just steering. It'll be all right. Well, we're making an absolute mess, but that's okay. I have decided I am going to hit this with another round of pressure washing now that I am down to a lot of bare surfaces. Get the engine cleaned off a little bit better. Everything is pretty well sealed up other than the cooling system. Maybe put something over that. Shouldn't matter, should just fall down. So I'm going to push it out the door. Oh yeah, you're going to clean up nice. Well, there you go, guys. End of episode part 2, I guess, 1 year apart. Now we need to make some fast progress on this project, and we're going to do it. I've got parts orders going. I know what I'm going to do for paint, so probably today I'm going to get a paint order going on this thing. But get this. I was looking around for single armored wire, like this electrical system originally was. And I came across a website that listed it. And, you know, they sell it in probably 10, 12, 14, 16 gauge, whatever gauge you need. So I was like, okay, I can get bulk wire, build a harness for this thing. Well, as I looked around, it became clear they were a website dedicated to electrical systems on antique tractors. So I thought, typed in Silver King in the search bar. Boom, I got 40-some results for parts specifically for Silver Kings. They make 2 complete wiring harness options for the Model 42. Nobody sells parts specifically for the 42 for a Silver King tractor, you know. So I put in an order for wiring harness. I'm loving the Ford Tempo spark plug wires, but I ordered those, 6-volt headlight bulbs, a braided ground strap. There's other things. Oh, all 3 gauges. We'll get into it, you know. I'll be sure to bring you along for that. But yeah, that's awesome. I was excited to see that I could get that. So if I don't have to make a harness, I mean, that deprives me of some fun and joy, but so be it. Otherwise, like I say, we've got progress going on the other aspects. After I get this cleaned up and ready for respray, then we're going to move on to the fenders and the grill, get those ready, and then we'll pretty much be ready to start painting. As for the frame, I'm primarily going to focus down along the sides where the tornado debris and the sand blasting happened, you know, the night of the tornado. The top center, that was all protected. The bottom, that was all protected. Really along the axles and around the back. What I need to clean up and respray, I'll respray, but most of the majority of what you see here just needs to be cleaned up, degreased, and it'll look just fine. But we will do some painting on it, and we will also do some painting on the wheels, the rims, and so forth. So next thing I'm going to do is take those apart, start scuffing up the rims and the centers, and we'll get that going. There we go, guys. I'm going to keep working on this, get it ready for paint, and you be sure to come back. So thanks a lot for joining me. God bless you. We will see you on the next one. You're a dirty old beast, but not for long. Oh, man. I need to turn the exhaust fan on.